Now it's time to review the story of Jonah. We learn from Jonah that God cares about our attitudes more than he cares about the situations we sometimes get ourselves into. He wants us to use a godly attitude to help us get through tough times. Jonah wasn't very good at this. Here's Jonah's story, but let's tell it quickly. Jonah was an Israelite, one of God's chosen people. Jonah was a prophet. God would talk to him and then he'd tell people what God wanted them to do. Jonah loved God, but he had a really bad attitude when God asked him to do things he didn't want to do. Jonah didn't like the people from a city called Nineveh. They were Israel's enemy. God asked Jonah to warn the Ninevites that if they didn't stop being bad, he would destroy them. Jonah ran and hid from God because he didn't want to help save the Ninevites. He got on a boat headed towards Tarshish. God sent a storm. The captain and crew of the boat were scared and prayed to their gods for help. Jonah was asleep on the boat. The captain woke him and told him to pray. Jonah told the crew he was the reason for the storms because he was hiding from God. He told them to throw him overboard, but they didn't because they didn't want to anger God more. They tried to row back to shore. The storm kept coming and the boat began to sink. They threw Jonah overboard. A big fish swallowed him up. He lived inside the fish for 3 days. Jonah asked God to forgive him and promised to obey. The whale puked him up on the beach. Jonah went and warned the Ninevites. He still had a bad attitude and told God he'd rather die than watch Nineveh get saved. God told him how much he loves all his children, even the ones who aren't Israelites. And that's the story of Jonah.